Right. Well, to talk about these elections and the prospects they hold for all political parties concerned, we're being joined in the studio by Tom Vadakan, spokesperson of the Congress Party. We have Aman Sinha of the BJP joining us from his office. We also have from the Janata Dal Secular, Danish Ali, who's the General Secretary and the spokesperson, and senior journalist Sankarshan Thakur to help us decode what the politics around the Rajya Sabha polls really are all about. Tom Vadakan, let me actually open this with you because it's really about the Congress retaining its hold in the Rajya Sabha. Whether that's something that's to the detriment of legislation right now or not, given the fact that there's so much stuck, that's a separate question. But today there's been some news that indicates two things. One, that the Congress will back R.K. Anand in Haryana, and two, there might be a glimmer of hope for Kapil Sibal in spite of the independent that's come in and upset the apple cart in UP.
Well, our calculation is that we will be able to retain the numbers we have. And according to available sources, Mr. R.K. Anand is, though officially the announcement is to come tomorrow morning, then Kapil Sibalji also should pull through. The mathematics is there. I mean, what reports we are getting from the grassroots clearly indicates that I think the numbers are there. So I don't think we are very worried about this whole thing. Yes, there has been all sort of disputes coming up on independent candidates, why this person, why that person. We have taken a position that secular candidates who have been supportive of our policy line and who have a connect with the party earlier, and they belong to the Congress family, we have supported them, and we believe that they will support us in the Rajya Sabha on issues, policies and positions of the party from time to time.
Okay, let me bring both Aman Sinha and Danish Ali as well into this. Aman Sinha, you know, the independent candidates that are being backed by the BJP, there's a very clear reason for why that's being done. In fact, states where there need not have been a heated contest is going to see that take place, and many say that kind of opening up really paves the way for all sorts of pulls and pressures on legislators. We've seen 14 legislators from Karnataka being wined and dined in Maharashtra. We're seeing the BJP also looking at the independents they're backing in various states. Your views on it before we get the JDS in.
So Maya, you are right to the extent that it was the Congress party who took all these 14 independent MLAs from Karnataka into a 5-star hotel in Mumbai. This is nothing short of allurement, and you know, the evidence is there in the public domain. It is there for everybody to see. BJP has never indulged into horse trading. It is the Congress party which has the dubious distinction of whether it was cash for votes or n number of such, you know, episodes of rampant horse trading. I am not going into the details, but as far as our candidates are concerned, we are very confident of their victories. There may be some independent candidates who are there. Obviously, our political opponents, if they are in fray, we are not expected to support our political opponents, so to speak. So if there are any independents, they are trying their luck, they are taking a chance, that's all right. But as far as BJP is concerned, our candidates for Rajya Sabha as well as our MLAs, we are very sure and confident about them, and it is for, you know, other parties to introspect, because the way they are trying to allure independent MLAs and MLAs from other parties, that is something which is very unfortunate, and something which Election Commission should take note of.
Okay, I'm going to get Tom Vadakan to respond to that very quickly before we bring the JDS in.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see him preach about horse trading. Where did it all start from? Himachal Pradesh. I'm not going into the figures. What was done there, we have recordings of it, but we are not in the habit of making CDs and putting it in public domain. It is a political party. We are part of this country. We do not get to that level of kind of manufacturing CDs and going into public domain. We know why these CDs were made. Himachal is one story where the statistics will be shocking to this country. You have that happening in Uttarakhand. They did that there. Then
Maya,
they are
I
trying
can
to
barely
do
hear
it in
what
every
Mr.
state.
Vadakan is saying.
Unfortunate indeed.
Seems to be
And
some
they are
problem
talking
with the
about
EP.
high
Mr.
But
Vadakan,
let me say that it was the Congress party who took these 14 MLAs to Maharashtra
Aman Sinha,
and put them up in a 5-star hotel. If this is not allurement, what else is?
All right, fair point.
And now they have cheeks to come around and, castigate other parties.
Fair point. And you've said your audio is not working. We're going to get that checked out
None
in a
of their-
moment.
none of
Mr.
their
Aman Sinha,
candidates-
before we bring, and we'll bring Danish Ali into it. Danish Ali, Karnataka really in the center of this Rajya Sabha election, a cash for vote scandal in Karnataka. The point is Rajya Sabha is meant to be the upper house. The legislators are meant to be electing their representatives in the Rajya Sabha on the basis of ideology, on the basis of conviction, on the basis of the needs of politics and parliament, not on individual financial need. I mean, what is this cash for vote scandal? How does it happen in Karnataka?
Maya, see, just now you have mentioned Haryana case. Everybody knows what is going on in Haryana. Both the national parties are backing money bags, people. On Karnataka, the people have been caught on camera. But election, we have demanded the countermand of the election, but unfortunately, both BJP and Congress got together and they pressurized the election commission. The election commission has not countermanded the election. Today, the council polls has taken place in Karnataka. 14 independents you are talking about.
Maya.
The Chief Minister of Karnataka said these 14 independents are associate members of Congress party. Senior leader of the Congress said in Delhi these 14 independents are the associate members of the Congress party. But today in the council election, the BJP and Congress both got together and Congress and independents have transferred their vote to back the second candidate of BJP. BJP has won 2 candidates in a council seat today. They were having only 44 votes, but they need minimum 29 votes to win 1 seat. From where they have got the 60 votes today.
Okay.
And tomorrow the same voters are going to vote in Rajya Sabha elections. So it has been exposed that to destroy a regional party, both these national parties get together. They don't want to allow to bring the electoral reforms.
Okay.
10
All
years
right.
UPA was sitting, Congress was sitting on electoral reforms. Now BJP is sitting on electoral reforms. That's why the law minister from last 4 days were making a statement. No, Karnataka poll should not be countermanded. He was towing the line of the Congress. The people have lost faith today. That seeing everything on camera and the election
all right,
commission has not countermanded the Rajya
I'm
Sabha
going to bring
elections in
Sankarshan
Karnataka.
Thakur into this. Sankarshan, you've been listening to the debate. It's really a tutu meme that's going on over here. Now we're used to it when it comes to the Lok Sabha polls, assembly elections in various states. But there seems to be this notion that the Rajya Sabha polls, at least the dignity of the upper house should be kept in mind when this is going on. I mean, this election seems to have put absolute paid to the dignity of the upper house.
I might sound cynical, but this has happened to Rajya Sabha elections for a long time. I think since much before I began journalism about 30 years ago. I mean, each Rajya Sabha election becomes a playing field for money bags, for cross voting, for all kinds of behind the scene bargaining. I mean, strangely enough, in the Rajya Sabha election or in council elections in the states with bicameral legislatures, the strange systemic thing is that political parties become afraid of being disabled by their own strengths. They cannot depend on their own MLAs to vote the way they would. And the thing is, it's an open vote. Despite a whip being, enforced, the anti-defection law does not apply. And so all manner of games go on, and they go on, pretty brazenly, I have to say.
Okay.
And they're still going on, and they're going to go on tomorrow.
Yeah, and I want Tom Vadakan to respond. We're trying to get Aman Sinha's line back. There's some audio problem with him. But, the BJP is raising a valid point. It's in a sense, when both of you, as the BJP and the Congress, trade charges of horse trading, it's the pot calling the kettle black. It is the Congress that is whining and dining 14 Karnataka MLAs sitting in Maharashtra. What is the need for that? You are talking about the Congress now having put its weight behind the INLD candidate in Haryana. R.K. Anand, the disgraced lawyer, what kind of message are you sending out? You know, I don't think it's the answer to the BJP's attack is a counter attack. I think the Congress needs to introspect as well on all this.
Maya, the issue that you're holding against it is that I'm not aware of the fact that they are in the hotels or being wined or dined, whatever be it. The circumstances are very clear. We would not like our MLAs to be prey, like Shankar Singh said just now. They become prey. They come, these money bags arrive, they come there. We have seen that in Himachal Pradesh. We have been able to counter that. We have seen that in Uttarakhand. They have been doing that. So we have to keep our MLAs out from the reach of these vultures who are out there. I'm sorry, I'm using a strong word, I'm fully aware that so these vultures are there with money bags.
Okay,
we need to protect our people.
We'll give everyone a chance to speak. All right, Danish Ali, you were trying to get in there. We'll get Aman Sinha as well. Make your point to Tom Vadakan before we move on, very quickly. Danish Ali, you were trying to interrupt Tom Vadakan.
What I'm saying,
yeah, go ahead.
Yes. What I am saying is what Tom Vadakan is saying. What BJP is doing in Himachal and Uttarakhand or Arunachal, the same thing Congress is doing with Janata Dal Secular in Karnataka. They are destroying JDS. Today, JDS 4 MLAs have cross-voted.
All right, okay. See, JDS 4 MLAs have cross-voted. Aman Sinha respond.
Maya.
Yeah,
with this unethical means Congress should not maintain their strength in Rajya Sabha.
Okay, they should not maintain their strength. All right, Danish Ali, all right. Aman Sinha, please, if you can also respond, because as I told Tom Vadakan, I'm saying exactly the same thing to you. The BJP and the Congress trade these charges back and forth. They're both equally guilty of it, of trying to influence.
No, BJP is not guilty of any charges, Maya. It was the Congress party which was trying to unduly influence MLAs, whether it was in Uttarakhand or Arunachal Pradesh or wherever. And in many of these states, you have everything on record.
You know, there have been some
video, audio footage also which has been there.
Himachal
and
Pradesh
nowhere BJP is involved. Everywhere
was.
Fingers are pointing towards the Congress party. And here, in fact, in this case, Maya, in the present Rajya Sabha elections, the Congress party has admittedly taken away 14 independent MLAs to a 5-star hotel in Mumbai, and they are putting them up until the date of election. Now, clearly that is a case for allurement and something to take election commission, you know, for they should take cognizance of. And BJP is nowhere involved. In fact, we have been working in the most fair, transparent and legitimate
manner. BJP is handing
Aman Sinha, one moment, gentlemen, Sankarshan, come in.
Maya, all that I'm trying to say is that malpractice in Rajya Sabha elections in particular, which is a slightly more closed election compared to the other, public ones, is very democratic and, dare I say, very secular. All parties do it. And they keep pointing fingers at each other, and in the process, they are not bothered about how exposed they themselves are. Each of these party spokesmen who are on the program today, their respective parties have done this. It's almost become fair game. And we have such a great illustration from
where have we done this?
From very recently. How does a man like Vijay
Sankarshan
Mallya
to paint everybody from the same brush will not be fair. It is the Congress party which was involved in cash for votes, and if you see the evidence in all these states, whether it was Uttarakhand or Arunachal, all fingers were pointing towards the
Where did the money come from?
They were illegally investing
What did you do with the vote?
Even in the present election, it is the Congress party which has taken away these 14 independent MLAs from taken them out to
Aman Sinha, you made your point, you're repeating that point.
Putting them up in a 5-star hotel, that is allurement clearly.
Sankarshan, 30 seconds to respond to Aman Sinha.
I'm sorry, Aman.
Yes, because I'm responding
any
to
party, be it the BJP or the Congress or other smaller parties, bigger parties, the SP, the BSP, all of them in this are guilty of jiggery pokery, of all kinds of jiggery pokery. I mean, how does Vijay Mallya become member of Rajya Sabha? What is his political record? What is the political record of the aspiring member from UP, Miss Mahapatra. I mean, what great political record does she have that she wants to become a Rajya Sabha member?
Nominee. In fact,
I will tell you, if you see Maya, if you see her
they are
nominee,
entitled to contest. We cannot.
yes, of course they are
them.
entitled to contest. Of course,
however, we are not obliged to support our political opponents in an election.
16 BJP and across the parties she has got nominees.
Yeah.
How has she got nominees? Why does a political party member cross vote? I'm telling you, why do they cross vote? Is it on a matter of principle? If they are on a matter of principle against their parent party, they should quit.
As far as BJP is concerned, let me categorically say that if anybody defies the whip, then party will take a strong view of it.
Well, you should. Every party should.
Yeah.
But the past record hasn't suggested
that kind of action against
our party
those
president has also stated
also,
so.
Aman Sinha, the point that Sankarshan is raising about people like Preeti Mahapatra, sure, she's an industrialist wife, she wants to be a Rajya Sabha MP, and so she's being backed by the. What are her political credentials? Why should anybody even think of someone like her in the Rajya Sabha?
Maya, you will please excuse me because my EP audio is poor, but I perhaps gather that you are asking about a candidate from UP, Preeti Mahapatra. Let me say that if independent candidates contest, we cannot stop them. No, and we are not obliged to support our political opponents. If there are some independent candidates, then party functionaries, if there are any residual votes,
but by the same token,
the party MLAs will take a view. But as far as we are concerned, our candidates are clearly and squarely in position to emerge victorious, and all our MLAs are going to support them.
This isn't about your candidates emerging victorious. This is about a contest that's been forced in Uttar Pradesh. But come back to the larger point, Tom Badakan. You were saying that you were trying to basically keep your flock together. Now, independent MLAs are not necessarily part of the Congress's flock.
You see, essentially we select our decision as, I think you're referring to Haryana. Now, let me be very candid enough. His background is that of a Congress family. He has been associated with the Congress party.
No,
he has told that. Now let me complete this.
Sinha, we'll come back
now let me complete
this. Mr. Sinha, you can't interrupt everyone all the time. Just a moment, we'll come back to you in a second. Hold on.
He has been with the Congress family. He has met the Congress leaders and said he is in line on the secular issues and is going to support us in Parliament.
Yeah.
And he has a credential as a good lawyer, and why not? If he is part of the family, he is an independent, he must be backed by others, but ultimately the whole electoral battle is about the numbers. If he gets the numbers and he follows the line and policy of our party, and he's been associated with our party, he's also been associated with our media committee at long back, and I remember we have worked together. So if there's a person of that standing, why not? If he's independent today, we'll support him.
Right, okay, Aman Sinha, respond to that. Yeah.
No, Maya, I was only briefly mentioning that there is some problem with the EP. No, I was only mentioning and responding to what Mr. Vadakan said with respect to keeping his flock together. Independents are part of his flock, but his own MLAs are not a part of that. They have not taken their Congress MLAs there. So therefore, there is an inherent contradiction in what Mr. Vadakan is saying. Obviously, they are not bound by the Congress whip. And
but
so therefore what he's saying is self-contradictory and a self-defeatist argument, and he's just trying to create an alibi, and just in guise of keeping this flock together, they are indulging into rampant horse trading.
Okay, well, we are protecting them from money bags, hanging around the hotels.
Money bags flock together. Independent MLAs clearly are not independent. I mean, it seems to be a myth to even call them that.
What Congress has done in Karnataka, they have also filled a money bag candidate in Karnataka. That's why the AICC was unable to announce.
Okay. Why are you so worried? The election commission took cognizance of all your doctored
CVs. The BJP, the Congress and the JDS. I'm going to come back to Sankarshan. We have 30 seconds left. Sankarshan, I want you to wrap this up for us, because fundamentally we're looking at so many things. As you're pointing out, maybe you're being cynical, but this is not the first time it's happened, and it certainly doesn't seem like this. If this debate is anything to go by, that it will be the last. You're talking about cross-voting, you're talking about influence, peddling influence really in a manner of speaking. At the end of it all, we're looking at a situation where politics is now being held ransom I mean, not politics, legislation is being held ransom to this kind of politics that we're seeing in the Rajya Sabha. The need for one party to retain its majority in order to block the ruling party in the Lok Sabha. Is that really going to be what governs the way Rajya Sabha functions?
I think it is the right of every political party and every politician to try and win.
Yeah.
It is the right of every ruling party and opposition to act like ruling and opposition parties. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But when you employ unfair means, and when money becomes so much part of how you go about achieving these ends, is where the problem lies. To me, this election, the metaphor of this election is the kind of nominees that the independent candidate in UP has got.
Yeah.
16 from the BJP and 5 other bigger and smaller parties. Now, where does a new
Where
player,
does it come from? Yeah.
a new player in UP jumping into the rough and tumble of politics for the first time,
get this kind of support,
kind of nomination across the board?
I think that's a fair question.
Please tell me.
I think that's a fair question, and while Sankarshan is making the point that every political party has the right to fight to win, I think the way that fight is conducted really is something that certainly you would expect the politicians in the upper house to sort of weigh in on. We're out of time. Tomorrow is the Rajya Sabha election, 6 states, many interesting contests. We'll have to see what ultimately happens tomorrow when the polling takes place. We'll wrap it at that. That's all on the Buck Stops here tonight. Thanks for watching.